Once you have all of your ends and tails from both of your hearts tucked in on the back, you can choose to trim them off or leave them like this, and then it is time to connect your two hearts. If you choose to put a pocket on the outside of the back, this is where you would do that before connecting the two. You want to make sure that you are lining them up to where they're even, and we're going to start in the top left-hand corner to connect our yarn. You would use the same color as your heart. I'm going to use a different color just so that it's easier to see in the video. To start, I'm going to find my top left corner, and I want to make sure that I'm starting with 2 loops on my hook right here, just to give it a little bit of extra sturdiness when we're connecting the two together. Then I'm lining up the back part, and again finding 2 loops so that I can go under both of these to make it nice and sturdy. I'm going to take my yarn and loop it over my hook and hang on to both ends and pull up a loop under both of those sides. From here, you're going to want to hang on to that tail and wrap your yarn around and chain 1 so that you've anchored your yarn to the 2 hearts. My next thing is to do a single crochet all the way around the entire edge, and every spot I'm going to do my best to find 2 loops on the front and on the back. So right here, I'll be able to go under this one and the one right behind it to be able to have a nice anchor point with both of those on the front. Then when I'm looking at the back, I can see here and here to go in as well, so that I have 2 loops from the front and the back. You're going to make sure that that tail is laid over your hook so that you can weave it in as you're doing your single crochet. If it's in your way and that doesn't work, it can just be put to the back and we can weave it in later. But for me, I like to have it wrapped across so I have one less step to do. So with it wrapped across, I'm going to take my working yarn, grab it with my hook, and I'm pulling through all 4 of those stitches that I've gone under. So here's the 2 on the back. Then I'm going to pull under both of them. You may have to wiggle your hook side to side because those stitches are going to be fairly tight. And then I'm going under the 2 in the front as well to where I have 2 loops on my hook, just like a regular single crochet. Again, the tail is staying in between, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around and pull through again. So these are just regular single crochets going through the front heart and the back heart. To keep going, a lot of this is just eyeballing and seeing for yourself what works best with your heart. I'm going to go right here for my next one. Even though this front one is only 1, well, there's 2. There's a second one hidden under there, so it's okay if you end up with only 1, but ideally 2. Then when I go on the back, I'm going to go right here. Before I go, I'm going to make sure that I'm still got it lined up and I haven't gotten my 2 hearts crooked down at the bottom. And I'm making that tail go across. Grab your yarn, pull it through both. So here's my first one. If you end up with a loop on there like that, you want to make sure that you're going through all of it. And pull it up, wrap the yarn around, and pull through just like a regular single crochet. If you try to go into the next spot and it's just too tight to be able to get your hook through, it's okay to scoot over to the next one. So originally I was going to try to go underneath these 2 right here, but it is a bit snug. So I'm going to scooch over just a little to see if I can get underneath these 2 easier. Be able to attach back here. So if I scoot over on the top one, of course I need to scoot over here as well on the back one to make sure that everything is staying lined up nice and neat. And a good way to do that, you can just pull your hook out and double check and make sure. So I can tell that I'm kind of getting off a little bit on the side, so I want to make sure that this is lined up and this edge is staying lined up so that I don't end up with a lopsided heart. And those adjustments can be made as you go. For my next one, I can tell that there's 2 right here that's a fairly big opening to get through, and then behind for the next 2 back there as well. Again, these are just regular single crochets to attach both of your hearts together. You're going to do this all the way around, and when you get down to the point of your heart down here where we're connecting this last little tip right here, we're going to put 3 single crochets in that same spot so that it will keep that bottom point of the heart. And I will come back on the next video once I get down to here to show you how to get those 3 in the same stitch.